Of course, mine was on mute again. Hello, Soto. Hello, Salvador. I'm glad you're here. If you're in here still somewhere, Gemma was in here. I hope she has a pleasant night. I'm sure she's in bed by now. I look scraggly tonight. I wish my hair would grow back. Anyways, hello, Cindy. How you doing, hon? Miss Norse. And I'll just kind of chill out till people wander in. Hey, Nightmare, what's up? Oh, watching George Carlin. Hey, go watch George Carlin. He's always worth a watch. Hey, Chris, how you doing? And again, thank you, sir. Those things, I'm getting a lot of compliments on them. And you actually almost completed my set with the Godzillas. So thank you. Hey, Roger, how you doing, sir? How you doing, Mr. Blair? Enjoy George Carlin. I love George Carlin. I saw him live in concert. He was great. One of the best concerts. One of the best comedian concerts. Next to Cheech and Chong. I saw Cheech and Chong. Very young, but I saw them. They were hilarious. And of course, got to see Richard Pryor. And that was a great show too. Hello, Mark. How you doing? Mr. Halstead. Halstead. So we're just chilling until about 12:30 or so, and hit that like, no doubt, hit that button, please. If you don't, that's fine too. But I'd appreciate it, and it'd be nice of you. Everybody's doing good. As everybody wanders in, I'll let everybody say hello to each other. Two TVs running. Well, I kind of bum out because I'm doing split screen now. But when me and her were streaming, usually when I was set on the other side before the fire, I had two screens going. I just didn't hook up the other screen. The only screen I got it hooked up just for the PlayStation 5. Right, the second time, Ghost. I need to send you the. Not actually, if you do, that's fine. I'll pay you for it. But Chris, I'm looking. I need the King Kong. I really. Oh, here, check this out. My son came home with it, my second birthday gift. By the way, thank you everybody for the wonderful night Friday night. I'll say it again as everybody comes in, whatever. My son got me this one today. Check it out. It's a blacklight one. It's pretty cool, but hold on. I'm a professional here. He is so cool. Check this dude out. He is so bad. He's even got a stand, but he's cool. Be total blacklight, man. Total. Yeah, this was a FUY. Is it an FUY exclusive? FYI. Yeah, it's an FYI exclusive. You can only get them in the stores, I guess, in FY stores. But it's pretty cool, dude. It's really cool. I'm gonna have to redo my room now so I can put all my Godzilla stuff back out. Yeah, he's pretty badass. Pardon my mouth. When he showed me that, I was like, cool, dude. Way cool. She's hard to find, really. She's we checked on eBay. She's only going for $19 now. So she hasn't gone up yet in value. But yeah, she's pretty cool. Yeah, I want to get the big ones too. I think I'm going to order those. They have the big ones too. And I think they have a Godzilla and a King Kong big one. I gotta go look at the site again. I hate trying to get them back in the box. But yeah, he's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. I was really surprised. I was like, dude, where'd you get that? And he's like, FYI. Sorry, that store. Let me catch up on chat here. Oh, it's your HQ in the gaming room. Yeah, I used to have a whole big setup. Nightmare. When I did research, I at one time I had 3 screens going, a laptop. The laptop was just for dark web and deep web stuff. But yeah, the whole thing going. And they kind of ruined that too when I had to get a new computer, which worked out because they blew my old one up. Most of my Funkos are rap and sing. Sounds like Gemma and her Brittany. She's got a. I'm gonna have to find her a couple good Brittany ones. I know they're out there. There's a Marilyn Monroe one too, and I know she likes Marilyn Monroe. I have to find that one and send it to her, just for the fun of it, because I know she'll like it. Just popped in to say hi to everyone over there. I'll watch later. Okay, well, you have a good night, dear. So I'm just trying to catch up on chat. I was too busy playing with Poppos. I call them Poppos. Yeah, I just seen that he was on when I jumped on the first time. Oh, you were talking about something else. See, that's how I got lost watching everybody else talk. See what I missed here. Oh, LIB. Okay. Mikey. Okay. You were talking about Mikey. Yeah, I tried to make my rounds tonight, but I got too busy. I know Mike was streaming. Michigan UFO sightings and encounters was streaming. I missed them. Yeah. Oh, he had a premiere tonight. Well, I said he was. I knew he was streaming earlier. Yeah, I knew he was streaming earlier. Cooking. He was cooking, I think. I couldn't stay. I kind of stuck in and stuck out real fast. And then I was going to catch Michigan UFO sightings encounters, but I didn't even get a chance to get over there. They just kept me busy. And when I finally got to sit down, it was probably about 10:30. So I just sat here and kind of piddled around. You know, I'm not going anywhere. Okay, that's fine. I didn't think you were. You've been one that hangs out just as long as anybody. So I appreciate that. Sorry, I'm pulling my socks up. I get cold. I got one of my shirts on. I love this shirt. Everybody loves that shirt. Your kind of shirt, Mike. I'm at Mark. Sorry, Mike's on my mind. I have a brother, Mike. He was on my mind today. He was a big help earlier. He helped me go get a chair yesterday for Pop. He got a new recliner. The old one was beat up pretty bad. They didn't do a very good job when they took it and brought it back. It was pretty rough. But it was old anyways. It was time for a new one. So we got him a new one. Dude, I have. Oh, do you really? I bet it's a cool shirt. Yeah, I really like this one, Dad. When I pulled it out of the bag, I was going like, wow, that's really cool. This is the one Gemma's mom sent. I like it a lot. I'll probably wear it a lot. She sent me a blue one that I wear all the time. I had to stop where I was afraid I was going to ruin it. An Arby's big game sandwich today. The deer and the elk. Really good. Okay. Really? It's all right. Yeah, my spelling sucks too. Yeah, you do. You usually make it the whole time, Cindy. I know you do. You're one of the. There's a few of you that do. I appreciate that too. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It is. My dad. If I could draw it out, if I could keep my hands steady, because I used to draw too. I was into cartooning. I wasn't like fancy like the Batman that's behind me. You can't see it now, and I've done some other stuff. but it's just too hard to get to. But I still try. But he wanted me to see if I could try to sketch this on canvas so he could paint it. And he's colorblind. It doesn't do too bad. His artwork is for a 90-year-old. You know, he started painting when he was in his 60s, I think. Yeah, about in his late 50s, 60s. Gemma's got some of his stuff. It's all right. It's colorful for a guy who's colorblind. He does a pretty good job. Yeah, it is. I do like this shirt. I just can't believe. I don't know who sent all those other Geek Fuel shirts, but I appreciate it. Whoever sent it, if they're listening, thank you, because those are cool. I need T-shirts. It was like, wow. But the stickers, Chris, that you sent, yeah, I think I'm going to have him. What he's going to do is take them and kind of lay them out without taking them off. I don't want to peel them off. That's so cool. What I was going to do is press them out, and then me and Dad were just going to find frames for them, put them in frames, because they're pretty cool. I'm like a kid. If you leave those stickers in front of me too long, I'm going to start sticking them everywhere. Ghosty didn't get a chance to get with. Just get with her when you can. They got a lot going on, so take your time and just get a hold of her. She said, yeah, just reach out to her, tell her what you kind of want, and she'll see what she can do for you. She said she couldn't change the actual in the design she had of mine that's on the shirt that's in the room. She can't change the color. It's just the way she does her work. But I'm sure she'll work something out for you. And my shifter in my car is a oh, that's cool. A Dragon Ball number 2. There you go. Yeah, I had a friend that had them. Somebody made them for him. They were pretty cool. He had them everywhere. He had them stashed. And then he got, you can buy the actual Dragon Ball finder. And I guess it was pretty funny. But he's a big time Dragon Ball guy. Big time. Hey Raymond, it's just me tonight. We're gonna play a couple of her videos. So she'll basically be here. Unless she's watching, but I'm pretty sure she's probably asleep. I'm waiting on a Muto Skeletor shirt. Skeletor AT at the moment. Oh, there you go. Okay, Masters of the Universe shirt. Muto. Yeah, that one I got with the tiger on it was pretty cool. And if you look at it, it's got all kinds of cool stuff on it. I couldn't believe that was cool. Those were my Giles growing up. Well, no, Giles too young for that. I was in my 20s when all those started coming out, and I still watched them. But then again, I was that kind of guy. I miss Saturday morning cartoons big time. I have to go back every so often, look at go on YouTube and find all the ones I used to watch on Saturday morning. So Raymond, how you doing tonight, sir? And welcome. Yeah, we got a crowd rolling in. Yeah, the 80s tea shop. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, they have great stuff. I know. I'd love to have some of my old concert shirts back, but I'd rather have the ones I got at the concert. I mean, I would replace them someday, but a lot of those got tore up. The only one survived is my Misfit shirt, and it's about ready to go now too. You're welcome. You're welcome, Raymond. Yes, I miss Toonami too. Just when I turned my son and my kid, well, all of them got into it. My son really got into it. But yeah, I had a you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but Toonami did like a little thing around all the malls and places. They'd show up with this little like setup and you could win Toonami prizes. And I went to one at Easton and came home with this Toonami bag that was perfect for your Yeah, your laptop, and we used it to carry the PlayStation around in. And I got a watch. I got it put away, and a bunch of little stuff. It was pretty cool. It's all collector's items now. I hope maybe someday it'll be worth something. Now the Toonami bag, I gave it to my son and never saw it. He borrowed it and never gave it back. So I don't even know if he has it anymore. I'll have to ask him about it. Oh, the Grim Adventures, yeah, Mandy and Billy. Now see, that's all stuff my kids grew up on. I just watch them with them. I had an excuse because they were watching. I had to watch what they watch, make sure they're watching stuff that's good. Adult Swim was great. I don't know. Adult Swim is still on. It's it's got some good shows. I sometimes I think that Adult Swim kind of went over the hill, but people watch it. So I mean, they still show good reruns and stuff. Fright Night was almost always amazing. Yeah, Fright Night. As I miss, that's another thing. Here in locally, we had a guy named Fritz the Night Owl, and all through the week he would come on at midnight. No, 11 o'clock. No, midnight. He came on. The news came on, went to 11:30. Then it was no, maybe he came on after the news. Yeah, I think he came. No, he came on. The news came on. Then they showed us some kind of infomercial, and then he would come on at midnight all through the week. Then Friday night was his Fright Night, Chiller Theater. But during the weeknights at midnight, he would show like regular movies. And then we had Flippo during the day that used to come on at 4, and he would show movies. So sometimes he would show cartoons, but most of the time he'd show, old movies, Danny Kaye movies and stuff like that. That's what the good old days when television was at least somewhat. I like some shows, but I don't even really stream a whole lot. I'm a movie guy. If I'm not watching movies or playing games or reading or staying busy, it's either YouTube or a movie. Usually it's either this movie or a game if I get to sit down long enough. Nights are mine, so I do what I want. A lot of times I end up cleaning. Sometimes it's the best time to clean. What time we got going here? I'm not paying attention. Oh, we got plenty of time. Hello, TD Dean. Welcome. We're just waiting until about 12:30. Hey, Vixen, how you doing? Getting ready to get settled in for the winter. Sorry, I got my itch in the back. Yes, actually, one of the antenna channels still plays Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt, and Tales from the Dark Side. They also play the old show. I always cracked up. They called it Friday the 13th because it really had nothing to do with Friday the 13th. It was about cursed antiques, but I like that show too. There was another one. Oh, when they redid Twilight Zone and Outer Limits. But Tales of the Dark Side, there was some good ones of those. I wish they'd, bring back like they tried to bring back Night Stalker Kojak with Townsend. I think if they would have worked with it a little bit more, it might have made it. Yeah, I know, Boomerang Channel. But even them, they're not showing them like they used to. Man, when Cartoon Network kind of went and did their thing, started doing the newer stuff. Cause see, I didn't mind some of that stuff. Some of it now is kind of. Boomerang was the way to go, but it seems like every time I look at Boomerang, it's either Tom or Jerry or Scooby Doo, and I love Scooby Doo, but that's when Scooby Doo was Scooby Doo. Yeah, now we're talking cartoons. Hey, yeah, Hanna Barbera. And the thing about Hanna Barbera was, as fun as those cartoons were, they were all pretty much the same formula, always. Check this out, Stephen. Let me check it out. What we got here? See where we go here. Oh, this is for the 1883 stuff, right? Yeah. Actually, it looks really good. I'm gonna get Dad since he's gonna be able to catch it from the beginning. I'm gonna have he's a big cowboy guy. He'll love this stuff. Yep, Scooby Doo. Oh, before Scrappy. Yes, yes. When they put Scrappy in, actually, when they started putting the stars in, like Batman and Robin, I mean, those were fun. They were memorable. But after Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo, that's why they always make fun of Scrappy Doo because they knew they made a mistake. Run the old episodes of those on Tubi. Yeah, they do. Actually, they do run some of those. See, I was Johnny Quest. I love Johnny Quest. They tried to do it a couple times. That was my brother Mike was a big Johnny Quest guy. Some of the good ones, man, there were some good ones out there, and some of them that just didn't make it. Now that's pretty funny because I was watching this one guy was showing like a lineup on YouTube. Every so often shows a different Saturday, and it like must be from different regions because there was cartoons on there that I'd never seen before. I'm like, I don't remember this, man. You know, Hong Kong Fooey. Yeah, Johnny Quest was awesome. Ghost gonna stay 10 minutes. Can't hardly stay awake. We'll watch you. That's fine, Mark. You get some rest, man. You're good. Then we're good here. I'm not. Like I said, this channel is all about you guys. Saturday nights, just me replaying her videos, her listener encounters until we run out of them. Then we'll think of something else to watch of hers. And so rest. Go rest, man. Everybody needs her rest. Even I get my 2 hours if I'm lucky. But yeah, rest. That's what all this is about. Since I'm not going, I still may pop on once in a while. I may say at the end of stream Friday night with her, with Gemma, I may say, "Hey, I'm streaming tonight at midnight," and do that every so often, depending on how I feel. But it will be Wednesdays now from 10 to midnight. So I will be here Wednesday at 10 to midnight, and then she has her premiere Monday, and I'll show that probably in between the two listener encounters tonight. I'll show her and then show it again at night because she's got it posted. And then I'll stream Wednesday night. I think Laura may stream Thursday night. And then Gemma's favorite night, Oracle night on Friday night, I believe, if I'm right. So we're trying to keep it style hopping. It's going to change around a little bit. Let us figure something out. And then I think what she's going to do, Gemma, what it's going to have to do is it'll be like every other Friday and Saturday because sometimes she'll have to, like one Friday she'll stream and then the following Saturday she'll stream on that time. Yes, Mark, you have a wonderful night and have a wonderful day tomorrow. Enjoy your Sunday. Good or bad, I'm the guy with the gun. Yeah, I have a Fire Stick. I, I, my PC does everything. I barely really go out and look. I watch TV with Dad once in a while, but I pretty much a lot of times if I'm not, I'm usually sitting here or on my bed doing research. Sometimes I do a lot of reading. So you're welcome. Are you Evil Dead? Yes, I am an Evil Dead fan. Big time Evil Dead. I've seen them all. I've seen everything out. I even went to the musical, the Evil Dead musical outside concert. That was funny. We had a blast. I came home covered in blood. It was awesome. Night, sir. You have a very nice night, Mark. and have a wonderful Sunday, please. And maybe I'll see you in chat Monday at 11. And feel free to yell anytime. What do you read? A little bit of everything. I do a lot of biblical studies, ancient history, um, anything I pretty much get my hands on. And then for casual reading, I read a lot of comic books, graphic novels. Not much good out right now, so I'm not reading much of those. My Before the fire, my son got me for Christmas a Stephen King book that I'm gonna finally get to start and finish. I'll probably read it in one night because I'm one of those guys that read a book in a night, maybe two, depending on how I feel. I plow through a book. Not too long ago, I read all the Runner books, and those were pretty good. Yeah, YouTube's a hangout. Yeah, I do ghost a lot of channels. A lot of times I have YouTube on. I'm ghosting people while I'm doing stuff. I'm listening. Dune is a great book. Yes, I actually have that, and I have all the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit. I'm at Prime Video and Hulu. Yeah, you have the Disney hookup. Yeah, they're hurting you. But I don't watch much Hulu. I do have it. Actually, we're all in the same house, so we all have it. Um, I think my son gets that one. I watch a little bit of Netflix. Um, Other than that, I have not much else I really watch. It's either YouTube because if I can't find it on YouTube, I also, like I said, I have a bunch of digital movies where I actually have a ton of movies that came with digital copies. So if I get bored and don't want to put a movie actually in something, that's how I'm watching George Carlin. Oh, is it how you're watching George Carlin? Yeah, see, now we have regular cable, and Dad's out there watching it. And then he has just a regular antenna in his room, and he picks up a ton of channels. Well, he picks up channels that he likes, older stuff and a lot of the reruns. And there's a couple channels just play nothing but cowboy movies. So he goes back there and sits and cowboy and war movies, and he just sits back there and he's in heaven. Scottish history channels, Celtic music, paranormal and tarot. Oh, okay, yeah, I have all kinds. Um, I don't even think I put half of mine on my thing in my pro, on your Facebook, in your YouTube, how you can put all the channels you watch. I gotta leave the TV on just for sound. A lot of people are like that. Yeah. See, I can't do that. When I go to bed, it's got to be dark. No sound, no. Well, other than what I call ambiance, I always have a fan running. So, is it? I heard Equalizer 3 was really good, and the Nun too. I heard that Nun movie wasn't too bad either. A lot of people said that was really good. Yeah, if you put your antenna, well, I don't know where you're located, but we must be in a good spot because if we get the antenna right where I need it, he gets like 50 channels. Now, some of it's, like, those, shoot, shoppers channels. And there's a little bit of good, some religious channels, which are some of them are actually pretty good. And then all kind of movie channels that play all those old black and whites and stuff. And then you got like a three or four channels that play nothing like old sitcoms and stuff like that. So you can always find something boomer style on those channels. So yeah, a lot of people said the Nun movie was really good. I'm kind of shocked, so I may watch that one myself. I used to antenna and I sticks around 3 channels. Yeah, I mean, if you get a good solid antenna, you might be surprised what you pick up. Dark and very quiet, unless it's someone. Yeah, see, Now, see, somebody's soothing voice. Yeah, I like it dark and quiet when I'm asleep, and the darker the better. I mean, if I took out my fan and really closed this room up, it'd be pitch black in here. If I put the rug at the bottom, because it's like a gap about this big underneath the door. But yeah, I love it dark. Um, my friend had a funeral home, and I really didn't like hanging around in there because you see stuff. You know, people like Gemma would probably go nuts in there. Um, she does a pretty good job of protecting herself. But he bet me one night to sleep in a coffin if I could make it through the night in the coffin. Other than the rocking in the coffin, I made it through the night. He said the coffin. I went as soon as I went to sleep, I started rocking, and he said the coffin was shaking. He said if somebody would have walked in, they would have freaked out. Yeah, cable bills are insane. Now, see, we had a satellite. I didn't mind it for a while when I was away from the house, but even that was like getting expensive. It was like, yeah, the cable's just a scam now. I mean, we have Spectrum, and you go through one through like 1,000, and doing that one. Well, I think it goes even higher than that, but it's like the first 60 channels. You know, as your base, all your good cable station. Then it's a repeat all over again, all the way over again, over again. And it's like, why do you have to repeat all these channels? I mean, you really have like 10, you have like 5 channel 5s. Now, the satellite, my brother had a really good satellite. And this was when they first started coming out, he had a huge one in his backyard, or not, it was pretty good size. Man, you could watch football games, and when they cut the commercials, you could actually stay hooked up, and you could listen to the commentators talking and everything because you were coming right off of their satellite. The little satellite TVs now blow. Yeah, satellite TV blows now, and they always lose permission to break contracts with stations and everything. My internet is a now. See, I think Gemma has the same to either T-Mobile or Verizon, one of the two, which is nice. But it's good to have a modem. I mean, you have a Wi-Fi, tower, because that's what it is. If you have a modem with it, that's pretty good. But you want a modem hooked up to a cable, it's a better broadcast. Someday they'll get. I mean, it doesn't seem like you do too bad with your internet. So, do you have a lot of problems with this, Cindy? Because I know Gemma does. But it's also location, location, location. They should have had the setup in the Halloween haunted house. What I missed there? Yeah, I pay 40 for internet. Yeah, I think we pay about that too. In fact, I know we do. Yeah, like the Rebel can't. Yep, it did. It was huge. I mean, would you? I got a lifeline for free, phone unlimited, and it also gave me a free tablet. Oh, that's awesome. There you go. That's cool. That's the way to go. If you get a package deal, it's not bad, but they're just taking our money. That's all they're doing. What time we got here? How many we got in here? We got 9 people. We're almost we're at 12:35. Let me pull this up so I can get it rocking. There it is. Stay. Pause, little woman. Okay. Let's see. Move her over here for a second. I'm gonna get this ready to go. Yeah, I was in the coffin rocking. I rock in my sleep. I have, dreads, and all of my friends knew it. They were all really cool. I even in grade school, nobody ever picked on me about it. But yeah, I actually slept through the night in the coffin. Those were days when I actually slept, but I was in constant motion. I mean, I don't stop even when I sleep. Now it's just harder because I wake myself up. But yeah, I slept in it all night. But he said it was funny because the whole coffin was shaking. I was laying on my side and just doing this. He said I got to going pretty good. It was shaking pretty good. He didn't want to wake me up because he knew I was asleep. And he said if somebody walked in, they would have freaked out. Let me pop this up while we still talk. Okay. But yeah, it was pretty funny. I wish they had phone cameras back then. That'd have been a video. Screen share. Yes. Share. Okay, let me move down here, make her bigger, make this bigger. It's big enough. Your full screen.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to
Oh,
my
not yet. Okay, there we go. Put that down. So, are we ready to do this? That would have been a great and yeah, it would have been funny in the haunted house, especially if they said, "Hey, sleep here tonight," and then ran people by it as while I slept. He said I was going pretty good. He said he didn't know how I didn't fall off the stand. No, so programmed to herd the sheep. I watch the news, Dateline. So I don't even watch local news anymore. That's the thing. I do not watch local news anymore. Most of my news I get now is I try to because you can get a little bit of everything on the internet. So I really good about watch. I listen to both sides, and my views are pretty conservative. I wouldn't say I'm right or left. I have some left wing views too, but it's so screwed up. So you have to get everybody's view. And right now, the left is not looking too good. So I don't watch too much TV news other than when I go and search out for myself for certain, for my knowledge to hear a couple different sides. I'm watching news. There's something breaking going on. Typical. And so if we're all ready to do this, because we can talk in between too, and I love to watch these old videos. They're so fun. I hope everybody enjoys it. And I will be in chat once I start the. I couldn't talk there. Once I start the video, I'll be in YouTube. So I don't like typing on her because we haven't learned how to switch the names on the actual StreamYard. So fake media, yeah, pretty much. Here we go. Make sure it's all good to go.
channel, and if you're new here,
Everybody
just
here.
welcome. My name is Gemma Jade, but today we are doing Listener Encounters Volume 10. I know the last one said 11, but I made a mistake and jumped from 9 to 11. Some mistake in there somewhere.
So
Hot
I
mess
am
all
playing
day, every
10,
day.
which is
Y'all know
11, and
me.
11 will be 10.
So I want to jump right in. Doing a lot of filming today and just have a lot of stuff going on. So let's jump right in. Our first encounter is from our friend Blue Crossroads. Yay!
Yep.
Let's
He's
see
on
what it is.
vacation.
Gemma, I was talking recently with a longtime friend who asked me if I remembered a UFO encounter that I had had as a young teen. He, along with many others, had seen this encounter and told me that the same type object was witnessed and videoed by the Navy off the Atlantic coast and was part of the Pentagon video release. It showed several pyramid shaped craft in a halo of light following a naval vessel. The exact same craft was my first UFO experience back in the 70s. Others in our chat group asked about the incident, and I sent them an account of the sighting. Later that same day, I remembered you were looking for more reports for your encounter series, so I thought I would send you what I sent them. The following is that encounter. Hey guys and gals, some of you were asking about the UFO encounter we were talking about in the chat, the one about the pyramid shaped craft. So this is what happened. I encountered such a craft as a kid while living in Memphis. Have not heard much about the type I saw until recently when the Pentagon released a video of the exact type of craft following a naval vessel. I'm going off memory of the year, been a while, but I'm thinking it was either 1977 or 1979. I was a kid, but recall the incident well. Living in Memphis at the time and with parents and siblings. It was after dark, and we lived 2 blocks from a park. We had the windows open, and I remember being able to hear the faint sounds of the baseball games going on. I was in my room reading, and I noticed that all the noise from the park just abruptly stopped. I looked up and saw a massive reddish glow in the front yard, and it was kind of flickering. I thought our roof was on fire and jumped up screaming for everyone to get out of the house and that the roof was on fire. We all ran outside only to discover that there was this massive pyramid. Not triangle like I think they thought on the show earlier, but an actual pyramid shaped object hovering above the park. However, it was big enough that this glow that was surrounding the craft was reflecting as far away as our block. We stood there in amazement for a little bit, and then I ran back in the house and called my friend Ralph, who lived across the street from me, and told him about it. Ralph, along with his family, came out to look at it too. The whole block was outside staring at it. At first, I figured that's why the noise from the park just stopped, as they were probably all looking at it also. My friend Ralph walked over to me and started talking, and that's when I noticed that even though he was right next to me, his voice sounded muffled, kind of like it does when you're at a rock concert trying to talk to someone while standing in front of the speakers. I looked down the street to the main road and cars were going by, but I couldn't hear them. It's not that this thing was silent. I'm pretty sure it was making some sort of noise, but the frequency was so low or high that it was not registering to the ear, but the concussive waves were making it difficult to hear regular speech. That's crazy. Anyway, after about 20 minutes, it started drifting off towards the north until it was several miles away. It looked like two smaller reddish objects came from the craft and, from my perspective, shot towards the ground. Could have just been the visual angle. Then it looked like it started shrinking in size rapidly until it was just a dot in the sky that it shot straight up and out of sight. Again, probably was just heading away at a fast speed and made it appear to shrink in size. That was my only encounter with it. I remember my mom being interviewed the following day on the phone by a local radio station, and all the sightings made the paper. It or others were also cited for a few days afterward throughout the Memphis area. I'm pretty sure that the Memphis Commercial Appeal, or whatever it was called then, has articles on it. It's not my only brush with things like this, but this is the one I can communicate openly about. Sorry to be so cryptic, but you all know why. Yes, we do. Our Blue Crossroads has like top secret government clearances, and it excites me. I can't lie. Tell wifey I said hello and thank you so much for that amazing encounter. I'm gonna have to check out those Pentagon videos if they're publicly available. I really don't follow UFOs. I have always been terrified of space and UFOs and aliens my entire life, and I finally realized recently it's because I had some suppressed memories come up. I'll tell you guys all about it in my personal encounters series, stories that I'm going to be putting out. Our next encounters, two of them, come from Randall Heyman. And I don't know who this is. I don't know what the YouTube handle is, but Randall, if you're listening, send me an email and let me know who you are, how you came about sending me these, because you sent me like 7 or 8 of them. And I definitely appreciate it, but I want to know who you are and thank you appropriately. I just really happy you sent these. This one's called Old Time Car Glitch. My friend lived in a haunted apartment. Most of the buildings in our downtown are pre Civil War or in that time era. They have those big windows that are curved on the top. One night, I was standing and looking out of one of these big windows. I was looking down onto the main street and watching the snow come down and looking at the temperature on the bank across the street. When I turned around, there was an old man standing in the hallway by the entrance door. He was looking around like he was lost. Then he noticed me looking at him and he turned around and walked right through the door. I wasn't afraid. He just looked like a harmless old man wearing bib overalls and an apple cap, like a foundry worker from the old days. Super creepy. Don't know why it's called Old Time Car Glitch, but definitely appreciate that. Our next encounter comes from Javier. And he says, "Hello, Gemma. Hope all is well. I just recently found your YouTube channel. I really enjoy your stories and insight on the paranormal, and I'd like to share my following experience, and I'll include a picture. I hope you enjoy it. I'm from Southern California, and my family and I enjoy hiking and exploring the outdoors. We have been to several national parks: Muir Forest, Yosemite National Park, Sequoia National Park, Inyo National Forest, Joshua Tree National Park, just to name a few. Continuing, we have beautiful slot canyons in our valleys that we have been hiking for years during some of the aforementioned adventures. I've had a few unexplained paranormal encounters, but I'll leave those for another time. Back in February of this year, it's 2021, my family and I were spending the day out in the Slot Canyons. Before leaving, we decided to go on one last hike. On our way back, a strong odor of decay caught our attention. We looked around expecting to find a dead animal nearby, but none was found. I noticed a strange looking patch of fur on the ground. I got everyone's attention and we started to examine the piece of fur. I use a critical thinking, common sense approach in life. I look for the logical explanation in things. Nevertheless, I know and understand that we are connected to the spiritual realms, and God gives us glimpses of this throughout the Bible. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there are creatures, aka abominations, that are roaming the earth. The book of Noah explains how the fallen angels sinned not only with women, but also the animal kingdom. Therefore, I realize that one must seek a higher understanding and knowledge to make sense of these mysteries. But I digress. No religious debates in the comments, guys, please. We couldn't tell if it belonged to a coyote, a dog, or any other possible desert dwelling creature. It didn't appear to have been there too long, maybe a couple of days at the most. I also looked around for tracks or perhaps evidence of an animal fight, but there was nothing of that nature to be seen, no blood, bones, disturbed earth, etc. We noticed that the piece of fur was giving off a pretty strong stench. It had thick, dark skin underneath the fur. There were also a few smaller pieces scattered nearby, but I only kept the bigger piece. To add to this mystery, I put the piece of fur inside a sandwich bag and stashed it inside my truck. The next day, I went to clean out my truck and to retrieve the piece of fur. To my surprise, it was nowhere to be found. I asked if anyone had seen it, and no one had. In case you're wondering, there was no way it fell out. Needless to say, I never found it. Strange, huh? I've heard of a few stories of people seeing a dogman creature in this valley. I also heard an account of a lady that spotted a large, dark bipedal creature in the mountains near a place called Chiriaco Summit here in California. A coworker also told me that a friend of his had a frightening encounter with a reptilian-like creature in those slot canyons. Might this piece of fur I found belong to the ever-elusive dogman or Bigfoot? We may never know, but it sure adds to the mystery. Blessings. Have a great one and keep up the great work. Maybe one of your viewers can recognize what this might be from. I will put the picture of the piece of fur up. Javier, thank you so much. That is really interesting. And there's a lot that goes on in the mountains and deserts. Definitely believe the reptilian story. I'm just starting to get into cryptids, but if any of you know what this could be from, let me know. Always in the comments. Thank you so much again for sharing. So, our last story is going to come from our good friend Jason Zorn. First, an Irish blessing. There are good ships and wood ships and ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may they ever be. Shout out to my beloved Irish goddess, Gemma Jade. Thank you, sir. Thank you. This is a story of a man who had an encounter, not a creepy confrontation with a spirit, spooky, or specter, nor a terrifying encounter with a cryptid, but an encounter nonetheless. It was told to me sometime between 1979 and 1981, so forgive me if my memory serves to be a faulty a little bit, but I believe this story with all my heart, and the teller had evidence and no reason to lie, which I'll elaborate on after the telling. It was around mid August 1915 that Dennis Carrington was born in the bustling metropolis of Possum Trot, Texas. Population 26 people, 14 cows, 52 chickens, 4 dogs, and 1 goat. He grew up working hard on farms, hunting, fishing, and then the crash of 1929 came and America plunged into the Great Depression. Suddenly, finding gainful employment became virtually an impossibly difficult task. During childhood, he met his sweetheart, and the two fell in love later. Rosemary Vermillion. Dennis had moved to Frankston, Texas, where the two had met because for a time Dennis did farm work for Rosemary's father, Jesse Vermillion. When Dennis was 17, he managed to get a job at a gas station in Frankston. One day, an encounter happened, and here's what he told me. It was roughly around late June 1933. Dennis was sweeping up around the garage because the town road was only dirt and it hadn't rained in ages. It was hot. The sun was just beating him down, sweat dripping from his brow. Distantly, he heard the rattle and rumble of the engine of a distant car approaching. The town had 2 dirt roads, one going north, south, the other east, west. The approaching car was coming from the west, and soon a car came to a stop at the gas station, red dust billowing in the dry, hot air. A few seconds later, the driver swung open and a young, obviously somewhat inebriated man stepped out, wearing his hat slightly to one side with a huge smile on his face. "Excuse me there, young man," said the man by the car, "but would you happen to have any facilities at hand?" Dennis pointed toward the back of the garage. "There is an outhouse back yonder." "That'll do, my good sir," said the man as he nearly stumbled past, the scent of illegal liquor heavy on him. "Meanwhile, fill her up and give it once over, will you?" "Yes, sir," said Dennis as he began filling the car with gas, checking the oil, and so on. While cleaning the windshield, he couldn't help but notice the leg of a young woman halfway now hanging lazily out of the passenger door window. In the seat sat a very attractive woman who seemed to be looking at something in her hands. He finished up just in time for the man to come back around the front. "What's the next town over east?" asked the man. "That there'd be Jacksonville, sir," replied Dennis. "I see," smiled the man. "They got any good eating there?" "I reckon so." Sorry, my accent's not that good. The man looked at his windshield and how clean it looked. Mighty fine job. What's your name there, my good man? Dennis, sir. Dennis Milton Carrington. Well, pleasure meeting you. My name's Clyde Barrow, and this here pretty young lady is Miss Bonnie Parker. Bonnie smiled and waved. Clyde paid for the gas and then went to the driver door. I think you need a tip for such a fine job. And he reached inside the car and pulled out 10 silver dollars and tossed them to Dennis. They landed on the ground at his feet. Clyde smiled, tipped his hat, climbed into the car, started it, and drove east, a cloud of dust soon concealing the car from sight. Dennis picked up the silver dollars. He couldn't believe it. $10 was twice what he would make in a week or more. Years passed, and Dennis was finally able to marry Rosemary in the fall of 1941, and he was able to buy a pretty substantial amount of property from her family, and he had plans on building a house. Then, December 7th, 1941, the Japanese bombed the naval forces at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and Dennis joined the United States Navy, where he was sent to the South Pacific in World War II. He witnessed hell on earth. He was a tough boot before going to war, but when he returned, he was really tough. Him and Rosemary had a son and 3 daughters, of which I was born from the oldest daughter. He was my grandpa, my mentor, my storyteller, and he taught me not just about life, but about living. Again, sorry about my poor accent. I asked Jason to send me that story because I accidentally deleted it. Jason, thank you so much. You know my obsession with Bonnie and Clyde. So this is one more from Randall. I think I experienced a time anomaly. I was out in the country on a bridge over a river watching the water, and I heard the engine sound coming over the hill of an old car from the 1920s, like it was coming towards me, maybe a Ford sedan. When the old car was going past, I could see it was full of people dressed like they did back in the 20s. They sounded like they were booze cruising. They were laughing and having a good time. I swear the driver looked like Al Capone. He had a big old stogie in his mouth and he looked at me and smiled. When the car went past and was about to cross the railroad tracks, it just faded out. I had a lot of weird things happen in this area over the years. Well, thank you, Randall. Thank you to everyone who contributed to tonight's listener encounters. And guys, please continue to send in your stories. The longer, the better. The scarier, the better. Or if you have, again, strange encounters like I did last week, they weren't scary, but they were very strange. And let us know that there's more to this life and to this universe. Some people were complaining about those are supposed to be scary. No, they're not. They're just encounters. I'm asking for encounters with the supernatural, paranormal. You don't have to be scary. Sure, I like scary too, but give me a break. Please give this video a big thumbs up, not just for me if you enjoyed spending this time with me, but for everybody who put themselves out there and decided to share their stories and encounters. Spread the love by sharing this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you can do me another favor and check out the description box, we have justice for Caleb Smith, the GoFundMe for Caleb, information and links to the 3 live streams with Stemma every single week, Friday night campfire stories on missing persons and mysteries, Sunday night fireside chat on missing persons and mysteries, and Wednesday night the oracle card readings on this channel. You can find that info down there in the description box. And for financial donations to the channel, my PayPal, Patreon, and my Amazon link is in there as well. Guys, I'm sorry to keep doing it, but I'm doing it in every video this week. My book is out, Missing the Fae Theory by Gemma Jade. I'm going to leave the link for the paperback and the Kindle editions or versions, whatever you want to call it, in the description box as well. That's the affiliate link. If you have any encounters with the supernatural and or paranormal you want me to read on my listener encounter series, please go on ahead and email me at GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. Guys, be kind, not just to each other, but to yourselves. It costs nothing to be a nice, decent, kind human being. Always go in grace. Keep your side of the street clean. Smile at a stranger. Have your best day. Have your best night. And I will see you next time.
There we go. And I knew I had my mic off. Oh, sorry. Yeah, get this other one going here. Yeah, there. She got to a point where the encounters she was getting, they weren't really scary, just interesting, and some of them were kind of, but bless her heart, she pulls them out and just starts reading them. But I love listening to them because some of them are kind of weird and interesting. Okay, let me find the next one. We'll give her a little break here because I think this one's kind of short too. Look here. It's like time traveling. Okay, wait there. We're almost done because I think she only got to 15 or 16. And then she had to stop because people stopped sending them. Sorry. 1 second. I just want to make sure it's ready to go when we get to it. I think I passed it. Nope, not yet. I hope everybody. I hope people enjoy these. It's just fun to, and it also helps our channel. I think it's just a nice way to kind of push the channel. And it's kind of nice because you're going to start here pretty soon. You're going to start seeing the changes, which is nice. It's nice to see people grow. Okay, there's 9. Okay, there we go. All right. I'll be ready to go when we are. So, how's everybody else doing? Now, remember, she does have a premiere Monday at 11. Let me see if I know she posted. Let me pull that up. Wait, let me do this and I'll pull it up real quick. YouTube. There we go. She does have a premiere on Monday. Yeah. She just put it up. There we go. Do this. Present. Up there. Ah, get up there. And this is the one for Monday. Ghosts in the Machine. Messages from his boss. Now, I've had some weirdly weird stuff happen. I may not had, well, I don't, pretty rare, but I do have weird stuff. When I get to researching and stuff, especially at night, I've run on some really. I hope she kind of talks about that in this because I have on the computer bumped in and have weird crap happen on my screens and on my radio. So I hope she kind of talks about that kind of stuff. This should be a good video. Go ahead and stop sharing that one. Then I'll show this again tonight. And when I end the show tonight, I'll put this up so people can be remembered. So it can be remembered. There we go. Get rid of that. All right. Yeah, it does sound like a good one. It should be a good one. I enjoy watching them since I haven't seen. Yeah, and I thought it'd be a cool way because a lot of these older videos didn't get that premiere kind of vibe to them. It's nice. I think people like it when they get to see it come out the first time and hang out and talk. And then the people who miss it can get to see the replay and they don't have to watch the chat, or they can watch the chat. So, it works out. And it's like I said, it does help the channel. With Mike and everybody, her views are going up and the shorts are helping. Once she really gets the swing of those, man, it will help. But I have to be careful because I still want to get her to go to Rumble, but I gotta watch how much I say about Rumble because I think that was some of her problems because they didn't like me talking about on YouTube. So I don't want to cause any trouble, but we will get her there. I think she'll enjoy it a little bit because YouTube is definitely going through some changes. And it's going to get more interesting for a lot of people, especially a lot of smaller channels. Oh, excuse me here. So we'll start the other one here in a little bit because I don't think it's very long either. She had a couple short ones. Let's see here. That's not what I wanted. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know what that is. But what happened? Did I lose everybody? I had too many screens going. Okay. YouTube is going. This is going. Okay. That's what happened. Sorry about that, folks. I screwed up. I had too many screens on. That's funny. I literally had too many screens. This is why I wish I had. I may have to hook my other TV back up to the computer. I may have to. Because it was a lot easier. Okay, here we go. There. There we go. I mean, I gotta find it again. It's nice seeing everybody. Oh, good night, TD. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping in. If you are leaving, I'm glad you came. I'm gonna show another one if you just want to sit back and listen and crash, whatever. I'm gonna show another. I'm gonna show 11 next. But have a good night. Relax. Enjoy your Sunday. I play merry-go-round here. I'm a professional. Okay, we're getting there. Dun, dun. We do some of our other videos too. I think we'll start, like I said, through as we go through. Okay, now I'm getting somewhere. Okay. Okay. Now, where is it? Right here. Okay, let me get it queued up. Okay, stop. I'm gonna get this down to a science yet. Stop. It's being mean to me. That's okay. We'll stop it right there. Her face looks so funny where it stopped at. Come on. There we go. Okay, much better. Okay, sorry about that. Sounds good. I'll listen. Hey, just enjoy it, man. You're more than welcome to hang out, go to bed. We just go with it here. We're all here for fun anyways, to run our mouths and talk and just kind of chill out. I just make Friday was basically let's just run with the money deal and just talk, gab. We're gonna make that Wednesday now. I have an idea for a subject for next Wednesday too. I may talk about with you guys. It's being mean to me. It is being mean to me. It was being very mean to me. Sometimes this machine does not want to do what it's supposed to. Actually, I blame my hands, but you know. But yeah, we just hang out here on Fridays and Saturdays. Well, I still may do, like I said, I may pop on here every other Friday or something. I have a couple people say they miss it, so I may stop in every, just throw it on after stream, after she's done for the night. And then if she, because I will stream, if she does Oracle on, well, she'll have to probably do Oracles on Saturday nights. I'll still do Gemma's replays after that. So you don't have to worry about that. So, but Friday nights I'll just kind of pop in and out. When she streams on Friday night, we'll see what happens. And on the Friday night she doesn't stream, I'll stream, of course. But we'll figure it out. Fridays will be kind of come and go. But I will do Wednesdays from 10 to 12. So who's all still with me? 7 people. Oh, I'm glad you 7 people are relaxing and enjoying. I'll start the next video here in a minute. I'm just kind of unwinding a little bit. I think it's a short one too. I didn't even look. It's about 20 minutes. So 1 second here. Okay. I don't like clearing my throat. But yeah, let's where's AK? We need AK coming in here and tell us what he's grilling tonight. Do they put a time limit on how long you can be on? No, I actually we've stayed on till 4 one night. I'm sure if I wanted to stream 24 hours, I'd probably get away with it. I know guys that have, so, and gamers that have streamed longer than 24 hours. So yeah, I don't think there's a time limit that I know of. So yeah, I could definitely stream probably all night if I wanted to. A lot of it is just the fact that when I get off on Fridays and Saturdays when I stream with you guys, and I usually get off, when I get off, it's usually because my body's telling me it's time to stop and get up and move because I've sat too long. I'm a lot more fidgety than I look in this chair, believe me. But yeah, it's awesome. I could stream all night if I wanted to. I'm sure that Gemma would probably love that. Yeah, it kind of messes with the algorithm though. I heard guys that said the gamers that do it like for 24-hour gaming session that it kind of messes with their algorithm. But yeah, some night I might do it if I can't sleep. Go until sunrise or something. 'Cause I have my nights, believe me. It's just a matter of you guys would have to see me get up and move around once in a while. 1 second again. I was outside working the day, and it's real dry here right now, and I was working on cutting up some mulch and stuff, dust everywhere, and it's got me going. Allergy pills not even helping. So we'll get ready. Since everybody's kind of hanging out and listening to me ramble, I'll save you that mercy and give you mercy, and we'll start the next video. I'm going to give you mercy. I'm going to show the next video. Okay, let's do this. Pop it up here. That's the one I want. Move it over. Okay. Right. I'm going to hit start. I talked a little bit through the beginning. Where's the sound? Stop. You can have sound.
Welcome. My name is Gemma Jade, but today we have Listener Encounters Volume 11. Yay! I'm able to do another one, even though I just put one out last week. This first one comes from subscriber and friend of the channel, Shannon, and she says, "Hi, Gemma. Oddly enough, I was camping and trying to get on Wi-Fi to inform my 20-year-old daughter we've made it, and Steve and your live came on over my notifications, and I clicked on it. After your live, the Wi-Fi went dead. I'm camping after all, but I believe in signs, and this told me to tell you my story. I met my husband in 1999, and after 8 weeks of dating, we married. We had two beautiful daughters and an up and down 12-year marriage, although mainly very good. He was adventurous, and that's why I loved him. He had a son and daughter from a previous marriage, and I had a daughter from my previous marriage. Combined, we now had five, and eventually added a puppy to the picture. Her name was Girl, and
That's
she's
almost a
very
Brady
important
Bunch.
to the story. Every other weekend, we camped, hiked, beached, spelunking, scuba, or snorkeling. We showed our children there's more to life than being stuck to a computer or phone. Those are now highly cherished moments for all of us. As our two older children reached driving age, family weekends became farther apart, but we still found time for family gatherings. My husband always talked about wanting to get a motorcycle. He had one growing up, so that became his and his son's new passion. They both bought one in June of 2011. I never stop anyone from doing what they want. Even today, as I write this, my girls and I are out four wheeling right now. The moment my husband rolled into the driveway with the motorcycle, our dog, Girl, was acting oddly strange. She was his dog, followed him everywhere. It was a few weeks before I started noticing her acting strangely. Very busy household with kids, sports, etc. One afternoon, I sat on her couch and Girl jumped up and laid next to me. I looked at my husband, then her, and gave him the "what the hell" look. She had never done that in 5 years, and I mean never. We shrugged it off, but as the days and weeks went by, she was constantly by my side, and I finally told my husband, "I'm sick. I must be sick." He thought I was crazy. I said, "Dogs can sense sickness, and she's been acting very clingy." He shrugged it off, but I made an appointment for a full physical, blood work and all, just to put my mind at ease. All tests came back healthy as a horse. Phew. She was still clingy, though. "Well, I'll just enjoy her attention," I said. About late September, in the middle of the night, I was awoken by three wall shaking knocks, and it scared the hell out of me. Girl jumped up on my side of the bed, growled, and we just listened. My husband was sound asleep, and I had to wake him, shake him awake. "Didn't you hear or feel that?" "Nope, go back to bed." The clock said 3:33 a.m. I couldn't go back to sleep, so I made a cup of coffee and started my day early. Fall was around the corner, and in Georgia, the mornings are chilly but sweltering in the afternoon. I had a Monday off, so the hubs and I took a day trip on the motorcycle while the kids were in school and hit the Georgia mountain roads. What a gloriously beautiful day we had. Lunch riverside, leaves changing colors, roads open and empty, and just the two of us enjoying us. We returned home around 2:30 p.m. and there was a girl sitting patiently waiting for us and the kids to get home. The next few days, when I or my husband would leave, girl would chase us down the driveway, deliberately getting in the way of our vehicles so we couldn't go. Odd, just odd. Friday, October 21st, as I was getting in my Jeep for work, a girl jumped into my driver's side and wouldn't get out. My husband had to drag her out. I kissed and hugged both of them goodbye. My husband called before he got on his motorcycle to go to work and said he had put girl in the laundry room. She wouldn't let him leave. I said, okay, I'll come home for lunch around 11 and I'll let her out. We said our I love yous and began our work days. At 1:30 p.m. that afternoon, I received a call from our concierge desk that I had two visitors. I'm a meeting planner, so I had clients pop in a lot. After I hung up, they called directly back and whispered, they asked for you by your married name. I use my maiden name at work. None of my clients knew my legally married name, and only a handful of team members even knew it. I walked down the stairs from the office. Our offices overlook the main lobby and entrance, and as I was descending, I looked over the railing and saw a sheriff's deputy and a plainclothes officer with a badge around his neck. Must be scouting out the place for their holiday dinner, I thought. I just toured firemen and EMS workers a few days ago to look at our small banquet rooms. I reached the desk, held my hand out to introduce myself, and then put my hand up to my name badge and said, I go by my maiden name at work. Oddly, they asked me to verify my home address. I did, and they asked if we can go someplace to talk. My first thought was, oh shit, who in my family was arrested?
Mhm.
I walked us to a back hallway where no meetings were taking place and tucked us into a phone bank. The sheriff stooped at the entrance and maintained a no entry lookout stance, and the plainclothes officer asked me to have a seat. Still confused, I sat. He looked me in the eyes, grabbed my hands, and began with, I'm sorry to inform you that your husband has been killed in a motorcycle accident this morning. Well, you can only imagine the guttural shriek that came out of me. I looked over at the sheriff in the doorway and he lowered his head, and the plainclothes officer reached out and held me as I pounded his chest, and he kept me from crumbling to the floor. My life had just ended in one sentence. In minutes, the hallway was packed with my coworkers because my shriek echoed through the long hallways, and the sheriff was having a hard time holding everyone back from getting to me. My GM, SM, a dear AV tech friend, plus the officers whisked me away into an office, and they went on to explain to me how it had happened. A driver took an illegal left hand turn at a red light as my husband had the green going 60 miles per hour. He didn't have a chance. He died instantly, 30 minutes after we said I love you. At 9:30 a.m., he was pronounced dead. As you can imagine, my head blurred, then snapped back, saying, oh my God, how do I tell my children their father just died? How do I tell his parents? How? How do I go on? The first call was to my mom slash dad, which in turn she called my sisters and brothers, and the phone call chain began. My mom lived in Florida and was going to make the 8-hour drive up ASAP. My dad had stage 4 lung cancer and couldn't come. My sister was flying in from California, one from New York, and my brother from North Carolina. The plainclothes officer with an escort from the sheriff drove me to our daughter's elementary school. The saddest part of this is they went to the school because my neighbors didn't know where I worked, but knew our daughters went to the elementary school. They went to find my personal information and to inform them of what happened. So all the teachers knew all day that my daughter's life would change as soon as we pulled up. How do you tell a 5 and 10-year-old that their dad isn't coming home? We pulled in, and the hallway was lined with teachers, all with tear stained cheeks. They adored my girls, and their hearts were just shattered for them. The rest of the afternoon was chaotic with people coming over, in and out. I couldn't even think straight. My mom showed up at 9 p.m. exhausted from her drive, but her strength showed through. After everyone was starting to leave, I gave my stepson his dad's phone, which was very badly cracked, to hook up so we can use the computer to contact his friends. At that time, I poured a tall glass of Crown straight and went out to sit on the deck, drink and smoke, and my phone rang from an unknown number. I didn't answer, and then it rang again. Same thing. I didn't answer. It rang again. Same thing. This time I answered, and it was all crazy static, and I swore I heard through the crackling, I love you. Then the line went dead. A few moments later, my mom came out to the deck and said she had to tell me something, that my husband's phone rang while his son was downloading the address book, but the caller had my husband's name calling. She said he was showing him a sign. I said, Mom, he just called me too. That first night was the worst night, and girl didn't miss a beat. She jumped up on my husband's side of the bed, put her head on his pillow, stretched out, turned her head to me and licked my nose, put her head down, and we just looked at each other for a long time. She knew. She knew the moment he pulled into the driveway with the motorcycle. She knew. She knew those 3 knocks that death was calling. She knew. She had been getting me ready for this day since June and trying her best to block us from leaving that beautiful chilly blue sky fall morning. She knew. She never left my side until the day she crossed over the rainbow bridge. Since my husband's passing, he shows up as a beautiful black and blue butterfly at every major event in our daughter's life. The morning girl passed onto the rainbow bridge, the black and blue butterfly, him, came to get girl, and as soon as she passed, a bright yellow butterfly showed up and they left together. You see, girl was a blonde. Thank you for letting me share, Gemma. Shannon. It took me a few edits to get through that. Thank you so much for sharing that part of yourself with us, with me, and trusting me with it. I don't know what to say other than I'm so incredibly sorry that you had to go through that and your children had to go through that. I believe everything you said. I do believe that the deceased, especially the recently deceased, can make phone calls. Just the little staticky ones, though. I think especially when someone passes from something that's so unexpected, right? It wasn't a long illness. He had an accident. That they somehow get permission to do this one last thing. And I've got to find another video where I've said this because I know I've mentioned this before, either in a live stream or whatever. I had a best friend in the whole world, and he was so much older than me that I would call him my godfather. He passed in April of 2019, and I would use a lot when I was with him. And I would always tell him, you're going to outlast us all, but don't worry. When I die, he was in his 70s and I was in my 30s. I've known him since my early 20s. I would say, when I die, I'll send you a blue butterfly. And ever since he passed away, his name was Steve, I see blue butterflies like every time I'm upset. I even had one land on my front bay window of my kitchen. So the butterfly thing actually kind of struck me too. I definitely believe in that. I believe that. And definitely, too, believe that girl did know what was going on from the very beginning. And it's sad because if only dogs could talk, right? Shannon, thank you so much. I'm sure that you've done a wonderful job in being there for your family and helping to pick up the pieces. And I hope that someone was able to help you with that. As you said, your mom and your family kind of gathered around you. So, again, I'm sorry for your loss. I believe everything you said 100%. And thanks again. Our next encounter comes from the mom of a friend and subscriber to the channel, our very own Melissa Wiggins, who gave me this beautiful necklace and this gorgeous wicked sign here. So Miss Josie has sent us a strange experience that she had when she was younger, and I'm kind of excited to read it to you guys. When I was 18, my high school sweetheart and I eloped. My parents knew we were getting married, but his parents, they didn't have a clue. My new husband and I purposefully didn't tell his parents because we were so young. My in laws moved to Iran for a high position with a prominent oil company. Our marriage license was mistakenly mailed to my new in laws. They found out we were married. My husband and I were scared of their reaction, so we remained quiet about it. By this time, I had joined Mike, my husband, in Berlin, Germany, where he was serving in the United States Army. The deception weighed heavily on my mind. Mike was doing well in the Army, and I knew his parents would be so proud of him. It was still weighing on my mind. I was compelled to send them a letter to try and make amends to my new family. I felt that God had put this task on my heart, but I was reluctant to write for fear of rejection. I went to the post office to find out how to get a letter to Iran. I was told that the letter would have to go to the United States first and be sent from there. I felt like I had an easy out to avoid repercussions from my in laws. Besides, it would cost 80 cents for the first leg of the journey. This was 1968, and postage was 5 cents, as I recall. So, with the high cost of postage, I felt confident that my silence was the best route, and with a heavy conscience, I dismissed the idea of the letter. 2 weeks later, I was in the storeroom of the place where I worked. I saw a piece of white and black paper in the middle of the floor. I picked it up, and to my astonishment, I realized it was an 80-cent stamp. I didn't even know that stamp existed. I felt like God was guiding me to do the right thing and assuring me that He is real. I wrote a nice letter to the folks, and communication was established with Mike's family. They even came by for a visit on their way back to the United States. I felt closer to God than I ever had, and I was happy with my new family. Gemma, I've lived a long time, but I hold this memory dear as the time God had a message for me. An 80-cent stamp? Who'da thunk? Josie. Miss Josie, I definitely believe in synchronicity, the fates aligning and coming together. And I also believe God does things like perhaps creates 80-cent stamps for us. I think I'm going to use that from now on. When a little miracle happens in my life, I'm going to call it my 80 cents stamp. So thank you so much for sharing that really cute story. No, it's not scary, but not all of these stories are. They're just about, could this be coincidence or was it something supernatural? Thank you. If you have any other stories, please let me know. Send them on in. And also, it's so nice to meet you. I always love when the moms of my subscribers reach out because my mom is normally in at least my Wednesday night live stream. And she's always saying how much she loves everybody in there and they're all so sweet. So, Miss Josie, you should come into the Wednesday night live stream or the Sunday night live stream or the Friday night live stream, one of the live streams, and hang out with us. We have Daryl, whose mom, Miss Claire, also comes in, and my mom. So, yeah, thank you so much again. So I do have some longer stories that I wasn't able to put in because I wanted some time to go through them. So if you sent me a longer one, then I probably just didn't have a chance to go through it, but I will put it in next week's. So I'm going to put in an older story that I received from Mr. Jason Zorn. And Jason, if you're watching, I just wanted to say hi and you can reach out, haven't seen you in a while and I hope all is well. So this is an extremely true story. To set the stage, so to speak, in the mid 1980s, just south of Frankston, Texas, I decided, yet again, to go into Uncle Booby's land, just to explore around and see if there were any covey of quail hiding out in the tall grass. Not finding any, I decided to go down the trail I'd shot the deer at a couple of months prior and explore along Cato Creek. If you remember in Listener Encounters a few videos back, we talked about the deer. The shadows immediately began to encroach after 10 feet into the trail, and it was oddly silent as I walked forward. I was incredibly stupid then, and the very thought of cryptids never crossed my mind. Shortly before reaching the creek, I came across a bend in the trail, cutting to my right, and in front of me were bushes grown closely together with a tree about 8 inches in diameter and about 30 feet tall, which stood behind the bushes. Suddenly, the tree shook violently, shook like someone was trying to rip it up by the roots, and a deep, guttural growl came from behind the bushes. I know it sounds cliche, but I could literally feel the growl resound through my ribs as the tree shook. Instantly, my shotgun was at my shoulder, pointed towards the bushes in the tree. I couldn't help but hold my breath. Whatever was behind those bushes in front of me had scared the living crap out of me, and it was still there. It was making absolutely no attempt to flee. And something in my head said, "Back away, Jason, very, very slowly." Without turning around, shotgun still at my shoulder, I began walking backwards back up the trail. The tree stopped shaking and the growling stopped, but I knew that whatever it was that made that growl, it was still there behind those bushes, and it was watching me. I didn't actually turn around until I was almost back in the open field again. I'm not intelligent, but I'm also not stupid, and I know the sounds of all the animals that inhabit the forests of East Texas, and I never heard anything like that in my whole entire life. Jason, thank you so much. And thank you so much to everyone else who contributed. To anyone else who sent one in, I'll be emailing you back and letting you know. Most likely it'll be next week. Like I said, if they're longer, I just need a little more time to go through them. If you have any experiences with supernatural and or paranormal, please feel free to email me at GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. Guys, please give this video a big thumbs up, not only if you enjoyed spending the time with me, but also for the people who shared their experiences and this part of themselves with us. It's never easy, and not all encounter stories are going to be creepy or scary, because I'm asking for encounters with the supernatural and or paranormal, right? Not scary, creepy encounters. And it's encounters like these that let me know as well that the other side does exist and some things just can't be explained. And there's a more beautiful side to it as well. So spread the love by sharing this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd be so kind as to check out the description box for some important links, there is the Justice for Caleb Smith, the link to the live stream that we did months ago with April Arrington. We asked her to come back on and do the fireside chat spot on Sunday nights. We're not quite there yet with working it out, but that may happen sometime in the future. She is working on trying to get a billboard to bring awareness to Caleb and Keeslyn Roberts' case. So the link to that GoFundMe will also be in the description box. Also, the live streams, campfire stories, fireside chats, and the oracle readings that Steve and I do every single week on Fridays, Sundays, and Wednesdays will be in the description box as well. If you want to check one out before you come on in live and maybe just leave a comment and a like, that would be awesome. PayPal and Patreon links for financial donations to the channel, and my Amazon link as requested as well. I love you guys. Be kind to each other, but also be kind to yourselves. It costs nothing to be a kind, nice, decent, generous, grateful person slash human being, right? Thanks again for sharing this time with me. Have your best day. Have your best night. And I will see you next time.
Me and mute. Maybe I was meant to be on mute all the time. Yes, I've heard stories like that too, Cindy. They're always great. Let me flip this around. There we go. And yep, there we go. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, you have a good night, TD. Have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy yourself. Have a blessed day and a blessed night too. Yeah, you probably will, Cindy. And hope's the key. And faith. Faith's a big key. Thank you, sir. You are, sir, I hope. I usually don't ask. Yes, make sure you have a wonderful beginning of the week, too. And she's got a live at 11. Well, she's doing a premiere at 11 on Monday at ET time. So if you can make it, we'd love to have you. They're usually pretty good videos. This one looks like a good one. Beyond the Grave. Messages Beyond the Grave. Ghosts in the Machine. I kind of hope she talks about ghosts and machines. Because like I said, I've had some weird stuff happen on the computer. A friend passed, and he was a big-time computer geek. And after he passed, I'd get weird text well, not text message, but emails from him. And they were always after he had passed. It always freaked me out. But it lasted like a week. I'd get these messages. Make sure she's okay. Keep an eye on her. It was just like one sentence. Yeah, it'll be pretty good. I know some people, it's in the afternoon. Some people work. It all depends. I don't know. You got to replay too. Just make sure you hit that like button. Leave a comment, even on these shows, because it helps. It helps the algorithm. But I like the nice little crowds. We're down to 5 people. It's nice outside, so I'm hoping a lot of people are out getting some air and enjoying the evening. Even though it's in the middle of the night, it's still early in some places. So, and I know other people are streaming too. So at midnight, I think SOR still streams. So, but it's good to have just the people we have here. I probably won't keep it too late tonight. I don't know. Last Sunday we were here, we had probably 10 or 11 people, 12 people until the time I left, which was nice. Not a good weekend. My birthday was a good day, nice chill day. Today's been just hanging out, doing a little bit of this and doing a little bit of that, the yard work. Enjoying the day because it's been nice out there all day. Like I said, it's real dry though. They may be over now. Oh, is he streaming right now too? That's fine. I didn't know if he was streaming this late or not. That's fine. No big deal. Don't bother me. I'm glad. He's probably more entertaining than me. Which is fine. That does. Yeah. But yeah, I probably won't go too much longer. I'm going to try to get some. My eyes are itching. I feel like I'm going to cry on you guys because I wanted to dig at them so bad. Had me hacking. Pretty bad. That's pretty funny. Just trying to figure out. Oh my goodness. Things are so screwed up. There we go. Okay, much better. Checked my stuff. I don't think he is on right now. I don't know if he is or not. I'm glad somebody's streaming. I know SRs. I don't know. Are they still? Yeah, they still did the weekend show. Oh, you didn't see a post? I didn't look when I got on. Like I said, I was in and out of the room the whole night. I didn't sit down till almost like 10:30, maybe 10. It was between 10 and 10:30. I finally got to come in here and sit down. I was trying to set up the stream and make sure I didn't look too much like a slob behind me. I'm usually pretty clean, but I figure out where to put all this stuff. I got to figure out how to do a new Godzilla show because I keep getting new Godzillas. I'm going to be all night tomorrow trying to figure out how to redo my room so I can get all this stuff up. I gave a lot. My son knows I sold a lot of my collectibles when I was in chemo and stuff and the surgeries for my throat, and I still got more to go. And I had to sell a lot of my collectibles, which kind of sucked, but they paid the bills, so I ain't gonna complain. Because some of them were worth. I got lucky, and some of them turned out to be worth some serious cash. So, plus I had some of my dad's old comic books, which I didn't want to sell, but they were big money and paid some major bills. Yeah, the problem is I got the smallest room in the house. I always get stuck with the small room, but this is the room I actually grew up in. And there's not much room I can do. Plus, I have tanks in here, and they take up quite well. I'm down to one tank now, so I'm gonna have to do some shifting around. My bed is. I put my bed in the middle of the room because I rock so hard in my sleep. If I don't bang the wall, I end up in the middle of the room anyway. So I just put it in the middle of the room. Yeah, I was thinking get some more bookshelves. Like I said, I'm going to have to do some more rearranging. Where the tank that you guys see out behind me sometimes, it will where the monkey's hanging. The pink monkey is hanging. It's going to be taken down. The toads are going to get a brand new tank. I'm going to put them in a bigger tank and put them on one of the dressers, and so I can push some things around so I can make some more room. What do I got in the tank? Fire belly toads. I have fire belly toads. And poor Gemma's going to bum. Poor Franklin died. So that was the last fish that he survived the fire where he finally passed. So it kind of blows. She named him Franklin because I don't name the fish but because he was the only survivor, she called him Franklin. So I named it Franklin. But yeah, I have 3 fire belly toads. I had 4, but the one that passed, he was kind of old, but he got out of my tank. I didn't know it. You thought maybe a dragon. That's in the other tank over there. Actually, that's just my skin that I climb into at night so I can fly around later. You got to remember, I am the dragon. I have to change every so often. You probably want to keep me in the tank, though. I just, I'm not going to go there. Forget it. Um, but yeah, I've got 3 tanks. I had 3 tanks, but the fish died, so now I'm down to 1 tank. I think the other tank, this tank that's behind me, once I moved the toads to a bigger tank, I think I'm gonna get me a turtle. A turtle. Hey, Jules. Yeah, I had a good birthday, Jules. Thank you very much. It was pretty nice. After show, I chilled out a little bit, and then somebody called me and said, "Hey, man, you want to hit a last call?" So we went up to the top of the street. I met him at the top of the street because I can walk, and had a drink with him. Only had one, and hung out and just talked for a little bit, and came home. I was there. I got there. It was about 12:30. Didn't stay long. I left by probably about 1:30 before they closed. We were there about an hour. It was nice. Just went, hung out, and talked to a buddy, and came back and played some games. Well, actually, we all met for a round of Fortnite because I suck at all the other games. Fortnite's kind of easy for me. So, yeah, my God knows my son tried to get me to play Call of Duty with him, and I suck so bad. They always told me to stay behind him, and they always made sure I had a sniper because I'm good at sniping. So they always made me kind of stay in the background and kind of let me do all the sniping or use me as decoy. You sound like the dead. I wish I could sleep like that. Not anymore. I don't think I ever have. I think one night I got so trashed when I was young. It was my bachelor party. And I think the only night that I probably slept through the night. Well, I didn't sleep because I ended up getting up and puking, but I went back to sleep. And they said I didn't rock once, but I was trashed. I don't want to live like that. So, yeah, there's still some people hanging. And we're down to 6 now, so I probably will call it. Usually, when I start getting low on people and everybody starts bailing, that's a pretty good sign to call it. And then Wednesday, like I said, I think I've got a couple of things I'd like to talk about Wednesday, about the things I'm seeing, and maybe a couple of stories, a couple of my personal encounters that I've had lately. Drunk dragons. Yeah, we have a tendency to sneeze fire everywhere. You don't want us blowing chunks because it's not chunks. It's nothing but coal and fire and brimstone. Though if we're cold that night, it might be chunks of ice. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Jules. I really do. Yeah, I'll probably be trying to hit the hay here pretty soon. Like I said, I did a lot of yard work today, but I pretty chilled morning. I didn't get busy until later in the afternoon. Then I came in and made dinner. Then went back out and worked a little bit. Then my son came home. He gave me that cool Mothra, and I've just been hanging out in here. Last night was crazy because we got done, and then I went out and came back. I still piddled around this room. I think it was a little bit before sunrise before I went to bed and tried to lay down. And tonight shouldn't be too bad because, like I said, I piddled around, came in here, and finally sat down. Every time I sat down earlier, it was like somebody was calling me. Yeah, come here. So good night, Jules. Have a wonderful Sunday, please. And I hope to see you Monday at 11. Actually, I could talk while I put that up. I could do that for her. It'd be nice of me, wouldn't it? What is this? Okay. Why do I have 2 of these up? That's so weird. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's do this. This here. This here. Go. This over here. I didn't book it open to me. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. There we go. I'm gonna do this, and then I think I'll turn it the other way. I guess it'd be this way. We'll do it that way. And that's our video for tomorrow. So let that sit there for a little bit before we sign off. So the people that pop in and see if I'm still streaming, you can see it. But that's what's for Monday. I hope everybody has a wonderful night. I think I am going to call it here pretty soon. Everybody seems like they're tired. It'd be a good time to wind it down. 22. You guys want me to can't get visits from the dead if I don't sleep. That's true too. That is very true. But I don't know. Sometimes, well, see, I don't have them bother me here too much. Here, well, other than one night when somebody decided to go off, and their gifts decided to go a little nuts. There was a stream that me and Gemma had. Things got weird. I'll have to go back and remember which stream that was. But it got weird that night. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it. Now I won't. I want to look away. But I think everybody's tired. Everybody needs to get some rest. Get some rest tonight. I don't know why it's Sunday tomorrow. Unless you get up and go to church. I don't know. They're football games. You're going to sleep until the football games come on. I'll probably be up. Who knows what I'll be doing? Drinking coffee, probably. But everybody have a wonderful night. I'm getting to the babbling stage. I probably should have took my medicine a little earlier tonight. I'm going to try to stop it because it's not really helping anymore. Everybody have a wonderful night. Have a blessed Sunday. And I will see you on the flip side of Monday at 11. And thank everybody, and even those who are listening and those who watch the replay. Thanks for making Friday night such a fun night. We had a good night Friday night, and I do appreciate it. I appreciate the birthday wishes. It was good to see Gemma have made it 3 years. That's awesome. And peace out. Much love to you all. And please be safe and be careful out there. And be aware, okay? And I will see you guys probably Monday in chat at 11.